Have you ever noticed how you start spiraling when you're in bed and suddenly you're replaying everything you've ever said since 2016? But hold up, why is your mind louder with flaws than it is with the facts? Why do you always zoom in on the stuff that stresses you out and treat your wins like background noise? Like you didn't show up today. Like you're not constantly showing up for people, for yourself, for life. You act like the only parts that matter are the parts that ache. Let me ask you something. When did you start believing that the chaos meant you were doing something wrong? That's because you're overwhelmed. You must not be enough. Who sold you that? Because it's fake news. You are not falling behind. You're just forgetting to clock in to your own greatness. Is it easier to pick at yourself than actually admit you're brilliant? That you're beautiful and tired, capable and scared? Babe, you are all of it. Let yourself hold that. You've been so busy surviving that you forgot how to celebrate. So let's fix that. Let's bring your joy back into the driver's seat. Yeah? And maybe, just maybe, ask yourself, what if I'm not broken? What if I'm just becoming? You're lying there like you're this unfinished thing, but the way you exist, you're the person people try to copy but can't quite pull off. Because it's not just your look, okay? It's your energy. You walk into a space and it's not loud, but it's felt. You're the person people trust without even knowing why. You've got that soul that says, I got you, before your mouth even does. That's rare. And let's talk about your brain for a second. Your thoughts spiral, but your ideas? Whew. You're the kind of person who randomly drops something so smart in a conversation. It makes everyone blink twice, like, wait, say that again? And you sit there like it's nothing. Like, it's just Tuesday. Babe, that's you. Also, you be stressing about things you already handled, like, make it make sense. You survived that thing you thought would break you. And now, you're worried about a deadline. Please, you bend to time when you're focused. You hit different when you're rested. You glow when you're at peace. You just have to let yourself have peace. Hey, I'm just giving flowers where they're due. Like the way you've carried yourself through things you never deserved. The way you love, it's like sun-warmed honey. Messy sometimes, sure, but real. You care with your whole chest, even when you act like you don't. Okay, can we talk about your laugh for a second? It's got that ripple effect. One person hears it, and now the whole room is lighter. Do you even know how much brightness you bring just by being you? You've got this way of making the ordinary feel cinematic. You're the kind of person someone remembers years later for the way you made a regular day feel like the best day of the year. Don't even try to argue with me, okay? I've seen the way people look at you when you're not paying attention. There's this mix of curiosity and low-key awe. They feel it. You don't even have to do much. You just exist, and somehow it's a whole aesthetic. Oh, I see what's happening now. The compliments started landing too close. You're starting to question all of this, aren't you? That thing in your head just went, no, she's not actually talking about me like that. Surely she can't mean me. Not really, right? Now you're retreating, trying to laugh it off, dodge the compliments, like, psh, she don't even know me like that. But here's the thing, it's not about me knowing you. It's about you remembering you. You've been so tuned into your faults that your frequency for joy, for pride, for awe, it's static. But that doesn't mean the signal's gone. It's just buried under all the noise. Like, I start handing out truth, and your brain's already like, return to sender. Babe, why is it so easy to believe the bad things and so hard to accept the good? Who taught you that your softness wasn't worth celebrating? That your magic only counts when it's proven or productive? Look, I get it. Compliments feel really foreign when you've spent way too long in survival mode, when you've had to armor up just to get through the day. But hear me when I say, this armor, it's heavy, and underneath it is someone who deserves to breathe easy. Someone worthy, not because they performed for it, but because they are. Let's stop acting like love, praise, joy, like those are only prizes you get if you hustle hard enough. You don't need to earn being seen. You're already here. And if you could see what I see, you'd stop brushing off these compliments like lint off a black shirt. You're not a fraud. You're just unfamiliar with your own brilliance. But guess what? We're getting reintroduced right now. So you can stop acting like these words are too big for you to wear. They fit. You've just been dressing yourself in criticism for so long, the truth feels like a costume. Let me remind you of something. You are not meant to shrink. You are not made to just cope and grind and carry the weight alone. You are built for more. And deep down, you know that. This moment right here, this is the edge of change. This is the moment where you either pull the blanket over your head and go back to playing small, or you start letting the light in, letting the love in, letting yourself be hyped, praised, seen, because you deserve that. So yeah, go ahead, squirm a little, roll your eyes, fight it for now. I'll wait, 'cause babe, I'm patient. I'm not going anywhere. You ever notice how you only really sit with your feelings when you're alone like this? No distractions, no roles to play. Just you and that beautiful, buzzing brain of yours, trying to make sense of everything. Well, you don't need to make sense of anything to know that you matter. You don't have to have it all figured out to be worthy. You've been measuring your worth in outcomes, in likes, in checklists. But what if I told you it's not about any of that? What if your worth is in how you make people feel safe without saying a word? In how you still find softness, even after being hurt? You don't need to be perfect to be powerful. You need to be present. Present with who you are, what you've survived, and what's still in you, waiting to shine. Listen to me. You are not here to apologize for your power. You're here to evolve. And I know you think you need to be better before you deserve peace. But babe, peace is part of how you get there. You don't hustle your way into self-worth. You allow it. You claim it. And don't get it twisted. I'm not just saying this to gas you up. I'm saying it because the world is different when you show up fully. You are different when you stop dimming your light to make other people comfortable. You're not a backup character in your own life. You're not just here to get by. You're meant to feel good in your skin. You're meant to receive, not just give. So let it in. Let the compliments stick. Let the truth settle. Let yourself bloom without needing to explain why you deserve to. You know what breaks my heart a little? That somewhere along the line, you started believing you were a burden. That people wouldn't love the real you, only the you that's useful, helpful, low maintenance, easy to be around. So you started shrinking, editing, censoring yourself. You've become so good at pretending you're fine. But let me ask you something, and I want you to really hear this, no dodging. Why are you so afraid to let people really see you? You've shown people your strength, your hustle, your humor. You've shown them the version of you that keeps it together. But what about the part that hurts? The part that still carries things from years ago. The part that craves being seen without having to perform for it. You keep telling yourself, I'll feel better once I hit this goal, once I fix this flaw, once I prove I'm enough. But you're chasing peace with a map that leads you away from yourself. And that's why you're still tired. That's why you still feel like something's missing. You want the world to love you for who you are, but you don't give yourself that same grace. You speak kindness into everyone else's storm, but leave yourself out in the rain. You, who has walked through things no one knows, and still shows up with love in your heart. You, who gives even when there's nothing left in the tank. You are not invisible. You are not hard to love. You are not too much. You are worthy now, not when you finally feel healed, not when you're more accomplished, not when you're less emotional or more in control. Now, just as you are, soft, complex, powerful, real. You do not need to keep proving that you deserve to take up space. You already do. And if no one's told you that today, I'm telling you now, with my whole chest, it's time you started believing in your own light the way you believe in everyone else's. There you are. Do you know how attractive it is when you let yourself feel? No armor, no act, just you. Present, vulnerable, unfiltered. Babe, that's sexy. So let's stop with the second guessing. Let's retire the I'm not enough soundtrack. You are already so much, so deeply impactful. The kind of person who makes others better just by being yourself. I hope you realize how far you've come, even if no one clapped, even if it didn't look dramatic from the outside. The version of you from a year ago, they'd be proud. Not because you're perfect now, but because you kept going. You chose growth over comfort, reflection over reaction, and you did it without applause. That's real maturity. That's real strength. You've stopped running from yourself. You're asking better questions now. You pause more. You listen differently. You've started checking in instead of checking out. That alone is a whole transformation. You are not behind. You are not lost. You are evolving. Quietly, authentically, and beautifully. So every time you feel like you're not where you should be, remember, growth Growth isn't a straight line. It's messy, circular, full of setbacks. But look at you, still rising, still choosing to soften instead of shut down. That's real, and that's rare. You don't need to do anything else tonight. Not fix anything, not chase anything. You just need to be, to breathe, to let all of this sink in. Because you, exactly as you are right now, are enough. More than enough. You are proof that growth is real, that softness is strong, that presence is powerful. Hold this reminder. You are not what you've been through. You are what you've built from it. The grace you've chosen, the boundaries you've set, the way you still show up with a whole heart, even when it's scared. That's you. You've outgrown so much, and you haven't even realized it. You're not stuck. You're stretching. You're shedding. And every time you choose softness over shame, reflection over reaction, presence over performance, you become more of who you really are. So whatever happens next, remember this version of you, the one who listened, the one who let it land, the one who knows they are worthy of love, of rest, of joy, just by being. You don't need to chase what you already are.